Bayer Leverkusen, the invincible season, and then took that big job at Real Madrid, which, as we know, didn't work out for him, which is why that Chelsea were able to steal in when I think there was a lot of talk that others might have been interested, Daniel, potentially Liverpool, maybe even...
Brings his winnings in his DNA. You know, as a player, he was a winner, and as a manager, he was a winner. And for me, it's the culture he's going to bring to the football club. It's the energy he's going to bring. It's the framework he's going to bring. Maresca brought that, of course, Brezina. It didn't work out for him. But this man here, whether it's formation, whatever he's going to change, he's going to get in the dressing room and figure out which players he can rely on, which players he trusts, figure out the formation, which is a difficult task as well. But I have no doubts he can do it because we've seen what he brings to Leverkusen with a squad of young players as well. He sprinkled in a bit of experience around them as well, but he made players tick. He created absolute big problems for opposition, and they were an attacking team and exciting to watch on the eye as well.
Yeah, I think there is an awful lot of excitement around Stamford Bridge about his impending arrival, July the 1st, his start date. Let's speak to one of his former Liverpool teammates, Jamie Carragher, who's part of our commentary team here tonight. Evening to you, Jamie. We were talking about this as a possibility last week, and you were actually quite critical of Chelsea. I think the words you used were that they were a broken club. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think it was that. But how does this one appointment change your perspective on what might be possible for this football club?
Well, it's no doubt it's a fantastic appointment from Chelsea's point of view when you consider how poor it's been for them certainly this season, and you think there's probably the chance that there's definitely no Champions League football, maybe an outside chance for European football. Who knows? See how tonight goes. But they're actually 10th in the Premier League right now. And you think what the players they have in the squad, the money that they've spent, but they can still go and get a manager of that level. So they'll be absolutely delighted with that. And the biggest thing for it, I think, will be not so much what Xabi Alonso is going to do next season, but I do believe that Chelsea have 5 or 6 really top players, and there was murmurings that they were starting to think about their future. Understandably so, with no Champions League football. But I think with the appointment of Xabi Alonso, I think that could keep up those players at the club. Listen, they still may move on, I don't know. But I think the sign of someone with the calibre of his playing career alone, but also certainly him being seen as one of the real up-and-coming big managers of the future. And yeah, it's really exciting for Chelsea. Great appointment.
Jamie, we know as well that, well, since the Blue Co takeover, there has been this reliance on signing young players predominantly, and there has been a heavy reliance on the sporting director model. Do you expect those two things to be tweaked?
Well, they need to be tweaked. Whether they will be, I'm not sure. There's a lot being made of Xabi Alonso's title going from head coach to manager. Whether that's just a perception to, maybe appease people on the outside, I'm not sure. But the same for any Chelsea manager. Xabi Alonso will have to get results. If he doesn't, they'll change the manager. I think you've got to go back to Jose Mourinho's first spell at the club. That, I think he was here 3 years then. I don't think any Chelsea manager since then's been here longer than 3 years. So it just tells you, the nature of this club. They demand a lot, the supporters, from the managers, and if they don't deliver, they want them changed pretty quickly. So we're talking about a great coup for Chelsea, but it's just interesting, who knows, but the reasons why Xabi shows, Chelsea, when you think of the history of the club in terms of how quickly they fire managers.
Jamie, thank you very much. Enjoy your evening, Jamie, on commentary duty for us here tonight. And got to a point where they've realised, Daniel, that they have perhaps made some mistakes, and they need to take a different path moving forward to take this club back to where the fans feel it belongs.
I think so, yeah. I mean, any club needs stability to be successful long term. That's just the nature of the beast. You're going up against clubs who have been working together, players with chemistry, management style, evolving, and that's what the best clubs have done. That's how you be successful consistently. So I think for Chelsea now, bringing in Xabi Alonso, it's about giving him the bare minimum 2 seasons, full seasons. You have a pre-season with the boys, you get to know them, you build the chemistry, you build the system. The first season, of course, being out of Europe helps. And then the following season, you'd like to think they're challenging for me. You'd like to think the first season, they're in the top 4, it's deemed a success, maybe you get a trophy out of it. But then the following season, for me, probably thinking, okay, they've edged a bit closer now. Can you go to the next level? And then I think for me, ultimately, this is the guy that can take him to the promised land again. Do you know what I mean? From what he's done in the past, the excitement he brings to the fan base, to the players. You know, you can see Cole Palmer was buoyed. Can't wait to play for him. I think that's the feeling you have inside as a player. When you see a manager coming, you're like, you know what? I'm having a bit of that me.
Carragher and Daniel Sturridge predict a bright new era for Chelsea under Xabi Alonso. Chelsea's new beginning, why Carragher and Sturridge believe the Blues are ready to rise again. Chelsea supporters have endured years of inconsistency, constant managerial changes, and rebuilding projects that have tested the patience of even the most loyal fans. However, a fresh wave of optimism has swept across Stamford Bridge following the appointment of Xabi Alonso as manager. Few names in modern football command as much respect as Alonso, whose tactical intelligence as a player has seamlessly translated into his coaching career. During a joint football discussion, former Liverpool defender Jamie Carragher and former Chelsea and Liverpool striker Daniel Sturridge shared their thoughts on what Chelsea's future could look like under the Spanish tactician. Both pundits acknowledged that Chelsea's project remains a work in progress, but they expressed confidence that Alonso possesses the qualities needed to guide the club back to competing for the biggest trophies. Their discussion painted a picture of hope, patience, and long-term planning rather than quick fixes. Jamie Carragher, Chelsea finally have a clear football identity. Jamie Carragher began by explaining that Chelsea's biggest challenge over recent seasons has not been the quality of players, but the lack of continuity. According to Carragher, the club has spent heavily in the transfer market while changing managers frequently, making it difficult for players to adapt to consistent tactical principles. He suggested that Xabi Alonso represents something entirely different. He's a coach with a clear football philosophy. Every successful team needs an identity, and I believe Chelsea are finally moving towards having one. Carragher praised Alonso's tactical flexibility, noting that he is capable of adjusting formations without abandoning his overall football philosophy. He explained that modern football requires managers who can dominate possession while remaining dangerous during transitions, and Alonso has demonstrated those qualities throughout his coaching journey. Carragher believes Chelsea supporters should not judge Alonso solely on immediate results, but on the gradual improvement in performances. Daniel Sturridge. Chelsea's young players will flourish. Daniel Sturridge focused much of his analysis on Chelsea's young squad. Having previously played for the Blues, Sturridge understands the expectations placed upon players wearing the Chelsea shirt. He argued that Chelsea possess one of the youngest squads among Europe's elite clubs, meaning player development will be just as important as winning matches. According to Sturridge, Alonso is perfectly suited to nurturing young talent. He understands players because he was one of the smartest midfielders of his generation. Young footballers naturally listen to coaches who have achieved everything in the game. Sturridge believes Chelsea's exciting attacking players will benefit enormously from Alonso's coaching methods. He highlighted the importance of improving decision-making in the final third, movement without the ball, and tactical awareness. If these players continue learning every week, Chelsea will become a frightening team. Leadership will define Chelsea's progress. Both pundits agreed that leadership will be crucial if Chelsea are to challenge for major honors again. Carragher noted that young squads often struggle during difficult periods because they lack experienced voices inside the dressing room. He suggested that experienced signings could help accelerate Chelsea's development by mentoring younger teammates. Sturridge echoed those thoughts. He explained that dressing rooms require players capable of calming situations during difficult matches. According to him, leadership cannot always come from the manager alone. Sometimes players need someone beside them on the pitch who has experienced finals, title races, and pressure. Alonso's tactical intelligence excites both pundits. One area where Carragher and Sturridge showed complete agreement was Alonso's football intelligence. Throughout his playing career, Alonso was renowned for controlling matches with exceptional positioning, passing range, and tactical understanding. Carragher believes those qualities now define Alonso's football philosophy. He sees football differently. That's what separates elite managers from ordinary ones. Sturridge added that Alonso communicates football concepts clearly. Rather than overcomplicating tactical instructions, he simplifies them so players understand exactly what is expected. That ability, according to Sturridge, creates confidence within squads. Chelsea's midfield could become their greatest strength. Carragher identified Chelsea's midfield as the area most likely to improve under Alonso. As one of football's greatest midfielders, Alonso understands how central players dictate the rhythm of matches. Carragher predicted Chelsea's midfielders would become more disciplined positionally while improving their ability to control possession. He also believes Alonso will demand greater intensity when Chelsea lose the ball. The best teams react immediately after losing possession. Sturridge agreed, adding that controlling midfield battles often determines success in the Premier League. Patience is essential. Both pundits urged supporters to remain patient. Carragher reminded fans that even legendary managers needed time before delivering trophies. Football projects cannot be judged after only a few months. He believes Chelsea's hierarchy must resist the temptation to make emotional decisions during difficult periods. Sturridge reinforced that message. He pointed out that developing a young squad naturally involves inconsistency. Mistakes will happen. Unexpected defeats will occur, but those moments should not distract from long-term progress. Chelsea can challenge Europe's elite again. Carragher predicted that Chelsea could once again become regular contenders in the Champions League if Alonso receives sufficient backing. He explained that elite European football rewards tactical organization, flexibility, and intelligent squad management. Those are all qualities Alonso has demonstrated throughout his managerial career. Sturridge shared similar optimism. He believes Chelsea possesses the financial strength, infrastructure, academy, and global appeal needed to compete with Europe's best clubs. What has been missing, according to him, is stability. If Alonso remains in charge for several seasons, Chelsea could rebuild their winning culture. The importance of mentality. Another topic discussed during the interview was mentality. Carragher argued that successful teams develop resilience. Championship-winning sides rarely panic after setbacks. Instead, they remain committed to their football philosophy. He believes Alonso will cultivate that mentality at Chelsea. Sturridge added that confidence grows naturally when players trust their manager. Once players fully understand tactical expectations, performances become more consistent. Youth and experience must work together. Chelsea's recruitment strategy has largely focused on signing talented young players. Carragher praised the potential within the squad, but warned that experience remains essential. He believes combining youthful energy with seasoned professionals creates balance. Sturridge supported that view, explaining that experienced players provide guidance during difficult moments both on and off the pitch. This blend could become one of Chelsea's greatest strengths over the coming years. Can Chelsea win the Premier League? When discussing Chelsea's title ambitions, Carragher adopted a balanced approach. He believes immediate title success may be unrealistic, considering the strength of rival clubs. However, he expects Chelsea to steadily close the gap. If Chelsea continue improving every season under Alonso, the trophies will eventually follow. Sturridge was equally optimistic. He suggested Chelsea possess enough talent to compete with anyone when playing at their highest level. Consistency rather than ability remains the biggest challenge. Stamford Bridge has every reason to dream. The atmosphere surrounding Chelsea has changed dramatically. Supporters appear encouraged by Alonso's appointment and the direction of the club.
Carragher believes optimism should replace frustration. He stressed that football projects require belief from everyone connected to the club. Players, coaches, supporters, and executives must remain united. Sturridge agreed. He described Stamford Bridge as one of English football's great stadiums and believes exciting days could soon return. Final thoughts. The joint discussion between Jamie Carragher and Daniel Sturridge offered Chelsea fans a thoughtful and encouraging assessment of the club's future under Xabi Alonso. Rather than promising instant success, both pundits highlighted the importance of patience, intelligent coaching, tactical development, and long-term planning. Carragher sees Alonso as the architect capable of giving Chelsea a clear football identity, while Sturridge believes the Spaniard is the ideal mentor for one of Europe's most exciting young squads. Both agreed that Chelsea possessed the foundations required to become genuine contenders once again. With the right balance of youth and experience, continued support from the club's hierarchy, and time for Alonso's ideas to take hold, the